I would like to share a topic with you. It's actually a message I heard and became something I felt that I would love to share because it helped me too. And the title of the topic is The Importance of Vision in Marriage. The importance of vision in marriage. Now, there are two things that a man should have before he gets married. I mean, there are two things that he should be two key things that should be a major part of his personality. Number one, the presence of God. That means that his spiritual life should have some form of solid foundation in Christ. Then, two, his vision. These two things are key. The presence of God in a man's life, one, and two, the vision the man has for his life. Now, when I say man, I'm talking about the man himself. I'm not using the general term man for men and women, for men and women. I'm talking about man as a male. So those are the two key things that are important that he needs to have. Now, same thing goes for a woman. Before a woman gets married, there are two things that she should ask her man, that is her husband to be, before they get married. Number one, how strong is he in his spiritual life? His walk with Christ. Is he on a firm foundation with Christ? That is one. Then two, what is his vision for the family? Because of course, when you get married, automatically you and your husband become a family. So what is the vision for the family, for the future, for the house, for the home, and for the children, and even the children that come after that? That's how it's supposed to be. Vision. Now, why I feel that this is so correct is because when God created man in the book of Genesis, the first thing he gave man was work. Now, work is man's vision. When God created the garden, when he made the garden, if you go back and read in the book of Genesis chapter 2, when he created the garden, he hadn't allowed the trees and the grasses and the shrubs to grow yet because there was no man yet to work the garden. That was now he now went to create man. So the purpose of why God created man is for work. That is for him to have something doing, something, work, something that he was created for, something that he was made for. So God created man so that he could work the garden. And of course, the garden is the Garden of Eden. But literally, if we look at it, that means we're talking about the earth. God put us in earth. God put man in earth to work in the earth, to come to earth, to fulfill purpose. The vision that God has put in him, it's his responsibility to carry it out. So God made man, put him in the garden, put him on earth, and put work in him. He's supposed to have a work. That is vision. Now, let me just say this. Work and job are two different things. A lot of people confuse it. I actually was like that for a long time. I felt like when you're talking about work and when you're talking about job, I always feel like it's the same thing. I'm like, what's the difference between work and job? It's the same thing. The work I'm referring to is actually your calling. That is what a man is called for. His gift, his talent, his destiny, his purpose. That is work. A job is actually what you are paid for. So if I'm supposed to redefine it, work is what a man is made for, what you were created to do, what you were born to do, your vision, your mission, your goal, your reason for being alive, your purpose on the earth. That is work. Then your job is what you're being paid for. That's what you go to the office every day. You go and do work, give them your services. At the end of the month, they give you a paycheck. That is your job. But what we're talking about today is work, not the job. So a woman should be sure that a man has a vision for his home, for their home, before they get married. Very important. Now, why is it important? Because if a woman marries a man and there's no vision, it may create problems. Why do I say that? Remember, after God created Adam and he put him to work and he started to work, God looked at him and said he would need a helpmate. Okay, so helpmate with what? Why do you think God created woman as a helpmate for man? Because he gave him work and the work was going to be too much for him to handle. It was going to be his vision. It was going to be a vision for him to work on, but he still needed someone to help. So the woman's main purpose is to come into the marriage, not just for the fact that she loves the man and she wants to have a future with him, but because she's also there to help to fulfill that vision. She's a helpmate. And so that is why when a man is going to get married to a woman, he should have his vision and his goals set out, his dreams, what he wants for his future, what he wants for his children, what he wants for his family, his home. Everything should be set out before he gets married. So that when that is already set out, then he now marries the woman. She already has work waiting for her because she's coming in as a helpmate to help her husband. So she won't be found redundant because most men don't have vision. They don't. Or some don't, maybe they do, but they just have misplaced priorities. They focus and concentrate on other things. And so when a woman comes to a marriage and with so much expectation that, there's something that she's going to help the guy with to achieve for the fulfillment of the family, success of the family, and there's really nothing there to work with, it causes frustration in the woman. Because what she was naturally created to do, what she was wired to do is not there. So it makes her redundant. It makes her, it makes her feel useless, like there's nothing to do. That is why if you notice, most women that are in a marriage that, maybe there's really no vision, there's no concrete vision for that marriage, there's really no where that marriage is going per se. Those women, if you notice, they end up starting their own thing, either starting their own business, doing projects, going back to school, just starting up something to keep them busy. They become, entwined in that thing. They set projects up for themselves because that is what a woman is created for. To be a helpmate. There should be work. There should be something at hand ready for them to put their hands on so that thing can, manifest and come to reality. And so then after that, we're also going to talk about why it is important. Why it is important for there to be a vision in marriage, before marriage, or while in marriage, or even before marriage. Is because without vision in marriage, there's really no sense of direction. Believe me, the marriage may be going on well, but you find out that there will be a lot of, gallops and a lot of problems back and forth here and there. Is because that marriage doesn't really have a focus. There's no direction. There's no focus. There's nothing that the both spouses are looking forward to achieve. There's no hands on deck on what they're trying to achieve. This one is doing his own thing. That one is doing her own thing. Both of them are not in sync, working together towards a common goal. It's just like a ship. Imagine a ship on sea. A ship that is sailing on the sea, and all of a sudden, it's maybe because of the storm or something, it strikes the rudder. Then the rudder goes out of function. Automatically, the ship doesn't even know which way to go. The ship just goes according to anywhere the wind blows. If the wind blows the ship towards the north, the ship starts sailing towards the north. If the wind blows the ship towards the east, the ship starts sailing towards the ship, because the rudder is actually supposed to be the instrument to help to aid the ship in direction, to help to direct it to its destination. And so a marriage without a vision is like a marriage without a destination. Two people are just living in the same house, living separate lives with no goal and nothing no future ambition, nothing to work on as a family, no hands on deck to work on something as a family. So another thing I would like to also add is that in Proverbs 18:22, God says that he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Marriage pleases God. But you see, that's what I'm saying. Marriage pleases God because God has already set and planned marriage. That means that when you are married, or you're about to get married, God already set that plan. God has already put work in that man, and so it is the responsibility of the man to get himself together and put his work on ground, so that when the woman comes in, she already has what to work with. Now, women are incubators. I mean, whenever I hear this, I always laugh. I've heard, people talk about it. Women are incubators. And so, if a man, has a vision and he gives to a woman, she will definitely give him, I mean, something solid. Something solid will come out of that vision. There's no way. Because why I say women are incubators? Because if you give a woman groceries, she will prepare you a meal. If you give her love, she will give you respect, and she will even multiply the love, give you double love. And if you give her trouble, what happens? She'll give you trouble for your double. She'll give you double for your trouble. So if you give a woman a vision, you can definitely imagine what will come out. That vision will come out. Even things that you least expect, God will use her as as an instrument, as a tool to aid the success of the vision for that home. So it is important for a man to have a vision. It's important for it to be present in marriage. Vision is is one of the most important things in a marriage. Vision, because that is actually what brings two people together. Because even like I said, when God created Adam, he gave him work. Then he gave him a wife so that she can help him with his work. That's why she's his helpmate. And so there should be a work on ground. There should be vision. And don't forget, do not confuse your work with your job. There are two different things. Your career is not your job. Your office work is not, your career is not your work. Your office job is not your work. Your work is your calling, what you were called to do, your gifting, what is it that God has made you for? What were you created for? Your purpose. Every man has a purpose in life. Every man has a gift. Every man has a reason why they were born. Every man has a reason why they're on the surface on this earth. And it's our responsibility to live that to live that gift. To what I mean is that to use our gift to fulfill our destiny, fulfill our assignment, fulfill our purpose, to impact people around us, impact the world, impact our family and everybody that is connected to us. And purpose, and vision is not private, it's corporate. That is why God gives vision to man. He gives him work. Then it is personal when he gives to the man, but by the time he gets married and now has a family, it becomes corporate. So vision is never ever personal. So some men will say, I know I have a vision, I know what I'm doing. I know you know what you are doing, but you need to share it with your wife. You need to share with your children, your family. Then it becomes corporate. And when it becomes corporate, that is when its fullness will be achieved. So I'm asking you a question today. Do you have a vision for your family? Think about it. Do you have set vision? Do you have set goals? Do you have things that you have said, okay, in 5 years or 10 years from now, this is what I intend to achieve. This is what I intend to achieve for my family, for my home, and even for the society, and even for for the world as a whole. Because sincerely, vision starts from inside the home first. That's where it starts from. Then it's being carried out into the world. So I would advise that after this message, go back and think about it. If you have a vision for your home, that is awesome. But if you don't have it, sit back, sit down and get a paper and get a pen and write down your vision. Even if it's for the next 5 years, if you can go ahead and make for the next 10 years. If you want to increase the next 20 years, that is fine. But the most important thing that you have your vision on ground, have it on paper. And once you do that, I am sure that God will help you with the rest. May the good Lord give you guidance as you obey his words. Stay blessed and have a good evening.